Welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drew B. Wilson. With more than 2 decades in sales, I've seen it, heard about it. Now I'm bringing it to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. Because let's be honest, it's the greatest job on earth. Doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what personality type, you can create an amazing life in sales. Today's guest is no stranger to that journey. I'd like you guys to help me welcome Mr. Reid Holmes. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Drew. Appreciate it.
Hey, I'm grateful to have you here. Would love to just jump right in, man. I want to hear your crazy sales story.
Well, this is a story that I love sharing because I've used it a lot. And the story is this. And I was working at a direct mail place as a creative director. And I supported a lot of the salespeople there, giving them things to say, talking points and that. And one of the salespeople came into my office one day and he said, what should I say when everybody's just kind of saying, well, I've still got to look at some others. I'm not sure if your price is right. And, I'm not quite sure if you're right. And I just said, have you ever tried just saying, well, I haven't figured out if you're quite right for us yet either. And he tried that. And he came back and he said, you'll never believe how it totally disarmed the conversation. He thought I was kind of either desperate or just going to knock my price down or something like that. And I just said, well, I'm not sure I'm the right guy to help you. Let's have a conversation about this, And it wasn't, and it just took the air out of, as the British say, it took the piss out of everything. And they were able to have this great conversation. And he understood, the prospect understood that this person isn't trying to make a sale. He's trying to help. He's trying to be a solution to a problem that needed attention. And he can't solve a problem that he hasn't identified yet. So let's not talk about price. Let's not talk about, you shopping around. Let's talk about solving your problem. And that always hit me as a big deal. It just dismantles all of the pressure and everything. It just says, look, I may not be the right person for you, and if I'm not, I'll let you know. And maybe I know some people who could help you. And if I am, then let's solve your problem. But I don't know. It's always one of my favorites.
I absolutely love that. One of the things I often talk about with our consulting clients is like when you build out your customer avatar, you kind of already know who you're speaking to, what some of their pain points are, what some of their goals are. But when you're building your script, it needs to be filled with pre-qualifying questions.
Yeah.
And the reason is because not all business is good business. And our goal in that initial conversation is to decide, A, can I actually help you with your problem? And B, do I want to help you with your problem?
Hello,
because
yes.
A lot of times the people that are unwilling to do their part in the conversation or the process, they're the hardest clients to work with. And then they complain because they're not getting the results. And it's like, I should have just known from the start that you weren't going to be a good client. So.
This brings up another story I recently heard. And it was on the Joe Polish podcast. I don't know if you listen to Joe Polish. He's great.
I'm going to write it down.
He has a thing called Genius Network where it's all entrepreneurs. And he just did a podcast with a guy who's just like this master salesman. And they quoted a Zig Ziglar story. So I'm sure everybody in your audience is familiar with Zig Ziglar. But I had forgotten this one. I think it's in his room at the top or something like that. But the story goes like this. And I want to talk about this on the other side of what's so great about this story. So a guy is selling fire retardant fire equipment for homes. And he's on the phone with a prospect. And the prospect is like, I don't think this is the right time for me. My wife just left me. My dog sprained his ankle. My car, the starter just went out. I mean, I got all kinds of problems I'm trying to deal with right now. And the salesperson says, so now might not be a good time for your house to burn down then, right? Which is like a total 180 flip. And it's exactly, so my point here is that this person, every sales conversation is someone telling you a reason why they might need your help. You just have to filter it that way. Because if you're not open to helping somebody, you're not going to understand that, bigger problems will befall this person if he doesn't start doing something to prevent them. And so I just thought that was a great story. And, it's part of, and what they talk about in this podcast is they call it pre-selling, but it's really just getting in the mindset. It's getting them in the mind of, I wrote down the quote. I have it somewhere. I'll find it. I put it on my notes. It was such a great insight. And basically said, well, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. I'm not organized enough. I thought I'd be able to go right to it.
You're like me though. You listen to something and you hear it and you're like, oh, I got to write that down. That's good. I'll come back to that. And I love that story because I have had lots of similar situations like that where, people want to give you every excuse in the book. And at a certain point, we just have to help people get out of their own way. And I think a lot of that starts with your marketing, with your branding, with, the messaging that you're using to make aware the prospect or the audience of like ultimately what you're there to accomplish in that conversation. And so I know you've got decades in the marketing and advertising world. So tell me a little bit about appreciated branding, like kind of how it all came to be.
Oh, thanks for asking. Well, I think that, and I just got in an argument online about this because I believe brands are not in the sales business. I think they're in the transformation business. And I think that's really what sales is. In other words, you're not selling grass seed. You're selling a homeowner who's really proud of his lawn. You're not selling a flag. You're selling a way for someone to show that they really believe in something. This is the transformation. And you're taking people who, in many cases, are in a place of pain, and they want to transform into a place of, happiness. And one of the things we talk about in the business is, and this is where I talk about appreciated branding, there's Pain Island and there's Happy Island. And many marketers think all they need to talk about are the oars and the boat. Like, here are the features of the boat. It's like, the boat doesn't matter. I want to go from Pain Island to Happy Island. I don't care if you helicopter. I don't care what you do. I don't care. I want to know, what does your product do that gets me to that better place? And that's the transformation. That's what we need to sell. It's not, I offer this and we have this, and if they fall back on this and this, those are all great things, but you need to know the bigger why there's a connection, why that matters, why your beliefs line up, why your values line up. And when I wrote the book Appreciated Branding, it came out of, as a creative director for 30 years, a frustration that everybody's telling me we're not talking about the boat enough. And I keep saying, it's not about the boat. It's just not about the boat. Tell me how I'm going to become a better version of myself, or help me be that. And that's what appreciated branding is. It's based on my own personal goal, as I've kind of moved into my act 3 of my life after 30 years in the ad agency business, that I want to help and I'm watching my kids graduate from high school and college. And I'm like, what have I done besides make a bunch of interruptive commercials for people? And so my goal is to find a way to be more valuable in helping people be better versions of themselves. And so this book is about the fact that we are all hit with 10,000 interruptions a day. It is out of control. Ad spending will surpass, for the first time in history, $1 trillion. We are pinged and popped and interrupted everywhere. And that is just more noise, more noise, more noise. And it doesn't break through. It doesn't get any kind of point made. So what I noticed in my career is I look back on some of the work I did and I realized, oh my gosh, we had done a campaign that really broke through. And I analyzed, why did this break through? And it's because people thanked us. We were getting thank you emails for this campaign. That's like, awesome. I've never heard about that before. I'll tell you, the campaign was for H&R Block. We did a campaign called You Got People. And it was an emotional play. The previous campaign was Just Plain Smart, which is like, yeah, I'll tell you whether you're smart or not. But there's no way to argue that they have 90,000 people across the country ready to help you. And there's a nice tension there that the rich people have someone to take care of their things for them. The middle-class Americans don't. Well, we decided, well, we're going to be that for these folks. We're going to be your people. We're going to take care of it for you. And when we positioned it that way, not only did their sales go up 10% every year for 3 years straight, we were getting emails from people. One in particular I remember is a woman in Dunbar, West Virginia. She sent a note saying that we just pulled into one of your H&R Block stores, and my daughter Jada, I remember her name, said, "Mom, does this mean we have people?" And the mother was so proud to be able to say yes, because it made her feel seen. It made her feel valuable. It made her feel understood. It made her belong to something bigger. And those are all human traits we all want to feel and we all want to be a part of. So when I look back, I said, wow, they're thanking us for that feeling. They're thanking us for that. They didn't say, thank you for getting my taxes right. They said, thank you for how you made me feel. It's the Maya Angelou quote. People will forget everything you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And so when I looked at that, I said, well, how else can we operationalize, strategize, come up with a way to make the earning of appreciation, a way to break through, a way to get attention, a way to be worthy of people's time, instead of just interrupting them and telling them they need to care about us. The flip is we need to prove to people that we care about them. And that's the flip. So appreciated branding is actively finding proactive ways to get to do things, to solve problems proactively, expecting nothing in return, that solve problems for the people you're trying to attract. And by doing that, you will get much more meaningful attention and probably a lot more trial and loyalty, because you've connected on a level that isn't just transactional. It's emotional, and you've done something to help me. I mean, my analogy is, you see, you bought the ticket, you're getting the ride, Drewby. So,
hey, I'm here for it. I have something to add. Like, I have something for this, but I'm loving it. So
well, my point is this: corporate social responsibility has always been about, well, we give some money to help causes. Like we just gave $10 million to plant trees in the rainforest. And my thing is, why wouldn't you plant trees in the neighborhoods of the people who you want to do business with? Why wouldn't you do that? A tree will be a reminder every day that, enter brand name of home goods store or whatever. That's a billboard in their front freaking yard to remember you, to thank you, to be grateful for you and what you've done for them. Another story I have, a friend of mine was, he had just taken a job as assistant manager at a Midwest grocery store called Hy-Vee, which is they're known for their really, good customer service. And he said he had just started, and this was right on the tail end of COVID. People were starting to order groceries more online. And even this woman who was probably pushing 60, maybe 65, pulls up, and he's like, oh, we haven't shopped your order yet. And he goes to his boss and says, what am I supposed to do? Like, what do I tell her? Because he's still learning, the ways of Hy-Vee. And his boss said 3 things. 1, give her this $100 gift card. 2, tell her to go home, and we will bring her groceries to her as soon as we get it shopped in the next 5 minutes. When you can supply people with those types of stories, that's $100 very well spent. Because Absolutely. if she's friends on Facebook with anybody, if she's, word of mouth is on steroids these days. So if you can get good people saying good things about what you've done, and what you do and how you care for people and how you care for your customers, why wouldn't people want to share that? People love stories about that stuff. You're never going to believe what Hy-Vee did. They really blew it, but boy, they came back,
they earned my business again.
Yeah,
that's all right.
So anyway, that's it in a nutshell, basically.
No, I really love that. And why I loved hearing that is because when I started Call the Damn Leads, it was kind of just a joke. Like I had this marketing company, and we were in, if you've ever been in the marketing business, it can be a churn and burn business. People come in, they spend the money, they realize that it's not an immediate, like, hey, I put 5,000 out and got 25,000 back the next day. That's not how marketing and branding works. And I had clients that would, we'd get leads for, and then they wouldn't call the damn things. And then they'd wonder why they weren't making any money. And I was like, just call the damn leads, just call the damn leads. And so it was a joke. And I remember telling people, I'm going to put that on a t-shirt someday, and I'm going to sell it to the whole world. And, people were like, that's a stupid idea. It's never going to work. And, I was just dumb enough to say, I'm going to go trademark it anyways. And fast forward many years, we run paid advertisement and we have, stuff all over the internet everywhere and anywhere I can be. And a lot of times I'll get messages from people that are like, hey, I just want you to know I didn't buy anything from you, but just seeing your marketing reminded me that I need to go do the thing. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, well, you could buy some stuff too, but like, tell somebody about it. And you know, maybe a referral is a great compliment we can receive. And like my whole mission with this brand is that by the year 2030, we are on one person's bag, back, or, suitcase in every airport across the country. I believe there's enough sales professionals that this is possible. And even just the other day, I got a screenshot from somebody that they're trying to buy a Porsche in Florida, and they zoomed in on the picture of the vehicle, and on the seat is a keychain that says "Call the damn leads" on it.
Nice. Love it.
I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of stuff that, like, that level of word of mouth marketing, it's awesome. And so what I'd be curious for you, like, what kind of brands benefit the most from really leaning in on this sort of like marketing strategy, this appreciated marketing idea?
The more crowded your category, the more Me Too competition that you have, the more you will get noticed if you do unexpected, delightful things for people. It's just, and I call it the plateau of indifference. You can go stand in the grocery store in the laundry detergent aisle, and there are 60 brands and they all solve the same problem. Why do you choose the one you choose? More than likely these days, it's the cheapest. How do you get people to not choose the cheapest? I mean, that's the age-old problem for brand building and brand marketing. How do you get people to pay a little more because they see the value of what you do? And the way to do that is to proactively help solve their problems these days. Marketing has changed significantly. So has sales. I mean, back in the 50s, the marketing kind of playbook was, well, we need to create content so that we can interrupt that content with our sales message. And so Procter & Gamble invented the soap opera, and they created content that women at home could watch on their television, their new television set, a new medium, right? I mean, history repeats itself. The newer the technology, the more opportunity there is for marketers to break through. And by the way, no new technologies ended up in the death of a previous one. Radio didn't die when TV came along. TV didn't die when the internet came along. The internet isn't dying because AI. I mean, it all stacks up and it all becomes streaming and whatever. So my point is that the interruption model has become so saturated and has been imported to all these other mediums, thinking you're going to get the same results that you did back when you were just sitting there eating folding your laundry, watching, as the world turns or whatever. And looking at these commercials, which, by the way, you were thanked for as an advertiser. Oh, I didn't know that there's a powder I can put in this magical machine and my clothes will come out smelling fresh. That's news to me. News is important, and in mature categories, it's really hard to find news. A new brand like an Uber or I don't know, what's the newest thing? I mean, the Tesla even, the fact that it was so different and so new, and they were designed so cool, they never advertise. They never needed to. They got tons of word of mouth. What you do when you build that kind of, when you have a mature category and you do things that are surprising and unexpected, is you get what I call reverse targeted. And that's what happens when, like, the lady puts a note out that says, Hy-Vee's awesome. They just killed it for me. The best example of that today is one of the biggest retail brands in history. They never advertise. They are growing every year by leaps and bounds. And the people who shop there do the advertising for them. Do you know what brand I'm talking about?
Lamborghini.
Costco. Go open up any social channel and you'll probably come across a video of someone going, here's what's new at Costco this week. And they show it all and they show the price. Costco doesn't have to do that. they just keep delighting people with really cool experiences and really cool new products and really great values and prices. That's important. And that's how you get that word of mouth going. Word of mouth is critically important. Your current customer always knows your next customer.
I absolutely love that. It's funny. I had a coaching call with my group today, and referrals was a big topic of conversation. Like, you have to continuously educate and entertain not just your prospects, but your current customers as well. Like, they're constantly being sold to, and you're not the only person that offers whatever it is that they're trying to leverage from you. So you always have to stay top of mind. And I love what you just said about Costco, because I literally had that experience the other day. We went in there to get some new protein drink that's supposed to be really good. And we're walking around, we're asking, and like, hey, man, I want that drink from Instagram that everybody's talking about.
Right.
And the guy knew exactly what we were talking. He was like,
Yep.
oh, yeah, it should be over here on the end cap. And then he got over
Yeah.
there and he's like, I guess we're sold out. It's been really popular. And, sorry about that. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
this is what social media is all about. You get raving fans who will go out. They'll tell the world about what you have going on. And they get excited about it because they get to be a part of a bigger movement. They get to be a part of something. And they feel as if, like, even though they're not getting paid for it they're literally paying to buy the thing from the store. They're so excited to tell the world about it, because to them, that is it's awareness of them. It helps them feel like they're involved.
It's cultural currency. Yep. It's exactly. Yeah. People
That's
don't buy a Rolex because they need a watch. They buy a Rolex because they want to send a signal about who they are to the world. And it's true among most every brand, whether you want it to or not, is sending a signal about your values to the world. So
I love that. It's also why I love Call the Damn Leads, because I know anybody that's got on our stuff, they're telling the world, I'm in sales, I do the work, and I believe in my product or service. And so, like, while we could probably sit here and nerd out on this, Reid, for like the next several hours, because I love the psychology behind all of this, I do want to be respectful of your time. What's the best way for us to come find you, follow you, check out more of, I think you said you had the book, Appreciated Brandon. How do we come check all that out?
you can get a free chapter of the book at reidholmes.com. That's REID. It's on the screen here. I don't know if that's going to end up on the thing, but
we'll make sure we got it in the show notes too.
So reidholmes.com, and I've got some free, like, top 10 reasons why brands matter in an AI world. A free download, free chapter of my book. You can schedule a free consult with me if you want to talk about branding or how I could potentially help you. I have a thing called the appreciation model that comes out of the book that can be really helpful in kind of bringing these things forward. This whole idea of unexpected delight to get better attention. I do pilot programs. I call them winner learns. You spend very little money, you get potential huge upside, or you learn how to make it better next time. So, and Linktree, Reid Holmes, I think, is another one that has a bunch of stuff. So
awesome. Well, I will definitely make sure we put those links down in the show notes. So if you guys enjoyed the show, be sure to go check this out. Listen, if you're in sales, the best thing you can do for yourself is learn how to do the marketing and generate your own leads, because a salesperson who can generate their own leads writes their own paycheck. That is, without a doubt, one of the things I learned early on in my career and will continue to tell the sales professionals that I run into. It's also why I invite people from the marketing community to be a part of the show, because it is the difference between being an order taker and a true sales professional. So, Reid, I can't thank you enough for your time again today, man. It's been a blast.
Oh, Drewby, I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Absolutely. You guys know what to do. If you enjoyed the show, go share it on social media. Do some word of mouth marketing for us. Tell the world that you spent a little time here and you got something of value. Maybe even send it to somebody you know who's doing a really bad job at marketing, right? They're just spamming everybody with nonsense versus actually creating that level of appreciation. And if you have an awesome sales story, I'd like to have you on the show as well. Head over to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your details. Let us know what you got going on. We'd love to chat more, and we'll definitely look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. You know what to do. Go call the damn leads.